because Risa Tisa is not the typical TikTok person that the
I just saw one of my mutual's videos and she reminded me of something that I wanted to add because I stitched this video the other day as well. But we really have to be careful, and when we are speaking online and especially speaking to younger women who are still learning, we really have to be careful. Like, I've been plus size for a good chunk of my adulthood, for the majority of my adulthood. And I can promise you, my dating market has always been athletic built men. Always. Everyone who has ever pursued me, seriously or not, has always been athletic. Either gym bros, like buff type of dudes who work out a lot, or regular athletic basketball, football, soccer player types. Now, the issue is when you internalize standards of beauty, men also internalize standards of beauty as well. So sometimes they go against what they're actually attracted to. And I did see a study a few years ago where they were talking about how a lot of certain kinds of very athletic, very manly men like voluptuous or curvy women. That's not always the same thing as, that is a kind of very broad term. So it can be big women, it could be thick women with a small waist, it could be hourglass, it could mean a lot of things. But even men, because they also internalize the gaze of other men, and they also internalize, things that their society tell them they should be attracted to, or what's most attractive, even though it goes directly against what they're actually attracted to. They tend to try to deal with plus size women, especially if they're into, actually fat people, like definition fat. Like, that's always subjective because I can be 200 pounds and, be everything to one person and be a water buffalo to somebody else. But that's why you dismantle the standards of beauty. You don't internalize the standards of beauty. I literally had one guy who was like obsessed with me, but he was trying to be with someone who was thin, who was light skinned and all that. But meanwhile, he was obsessed with me, like would not leave me alone, to the point where I would have to block him because what he was really attracted to was me. But because they are often internalizing standards of beauty and they want to, like Cat Williams was saying, I don't know, he said weird face, light skinned women. They will try to get people to fit that narrative that they think other people will big them up on, but really they're not attracted to them. And so, as plus size women, you have to be careful to know the difference, to have self respect, to have self confidence. This is why I do not like when dating coaches and these women get online and say things like, you need to know where you fall on the scale and y'all need to be realistic. Yeah, no, because never in things are never that black and white. And when younger women or women who don't know any better run into these situations, they need to be able to discern, because a man can be so attracted to you and obsessed with you and even in love with you, but it's trying to keep up with the status quo and keep up with what other people in this society says they should have in a woman, what their woman should look like. And you need to know when somebody is targeting you to keep you a secret, when they're targeting you because they actually want to be with you, and when they're targeting you because they want you to be some kind of sex toy or something. So people need to give well-rounded advice and stop saying, you know, quick things that y'all think, witty things that y'all think is going to garner attention, because y'all not telling the whole truth. My dating market as a plus size woman, I wasn't a fat kid. Like, I was slim until I went through something traumatic, but I have been plus size and my weight has fluctuated. I have been fat, I have been thick, I have been, in between, up and down throughout my life. So I've seen the different treatments that I've gotten at different sizes. Either size, my market for men, for the most part, has always been athletic. And that is not just black men. And even then, I didn't really do the math until I heard one of my mutuals say it. Because sometimes we internalize the things that we hear, even though they're not really true. I didn't realize that my market was fit men. I've never dated a like plus size dude. It is not because I wouldn't. It's just that the men who've always pursued me were athletic. We're gym bros. We're basketball players. We're soccer players. We're football